Universalist.
Welcome to our Pride celebration at the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Oxford. I'm Gwen Pfrenger, my pronouns are she, her, and I am your worship associate today. Whether you've been here before or not, welcome. Whether you are a member of the LGBTQ+ community or an ally, welcome. Today we'll share some words and music that stir the soul, and then we'll have an opportunity for you to receive a glitter blessing, and we'll wrap things up with a candlelit vigil of remembrance. However you name and understand the divine, you are welcome in this community of precious, powerful LGBTQ+ siblings and allies. You belong here. We have a couple announcements included in your order of service insert. We'd like to draw your attention to a few important ones. First, our congregational meeting will be held right after the service today, and Pride Week in Oxford continues this afternoon. If y'all haven't seen the flyer, there's a flyer over there. But a couple notable times, we have our interfaith service at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We have the Pride picnic at 4 o'clock today, and next Saturday at 2 o'clock from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we have our Pride parade. That's Saturday. Also, I spoke about this a little bit last week, but I have an exhibition coming up at the MB Mayfield House Museum in Ecru, Mississippi. That's 423 Main Street. That opens on, like I said, May 12th, and I have a time now. It's at 4 o'clock. So if you guys would like to come and see what I've done, I've been working on this for about a year now, and I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. So that's one announcement. And then also, there is a sign-up sheet on the clipboard at the entrance if you would like to be part of the UUCO's Presents for Pride Parade on, again, Saturday, May 3rd from 2 to 3. Please consider signing up for an hour at our table at the Pride on the Plaza also on next Saturday from 3 to 5. There's a handout that has all the Pride events that's over on the table near the entrance. And it looks like this, for anyone who wants to know. As a reminder, grief, gratitude, and growth slips are available from the greeter. If you have a moment you'd like to share, please write them down and drop your slip in the collection basket during the offering so they can be read aloud later in the service. And now I welcome our minister, Reverend Sarah Osborne.
I'm dressed today, so it's welcome. Clearly, beloveds, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. I'm Reverend Sarah Osborne, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm pleased and honored to serve as your halftime minister for UUCO. Clearly, beloved, you are dearly beloved. And so I would like us all to remember this by saying it together. Say with me, I am dearly beloved. I am dearly beloved. And yes, so now let us enter into a time of sacred celebration with this word from Hannah Roberts Villeneuve called A Protest and a Party. People sometimes ask, is pride a protest or a party? And the answer, of course, is yes. And why not? Why not rejoice as we resist, dance as we demand change, celebrate as we create community that delights in all of who we are? So bring all of that with you this morning. Bring your policy demands, bring your glitter, bring your Supreme Court broken heart, bring your rainbow socks, bring the emptiness you feel for our siblings gone too soon. Bring your Gloria Estefan remix. Bring your tender hope for change. Bring your most garish eyeshadow. Bring your spirit tattered and battered by a world that seems insistent on choosing fear and hate. Gather up all of these things and bring them here to a place where we don't have to shoulder these burdens or celebrate these joys alone. So come, let us worship together. And recognizing the beauty held within this community, let us offer one another a gesture of holy hospitality. You are invited to share a moment with the folks around you, extend a hand in peace, offer a hug, or perhaps simply a word of welcome. And as a practice of consent, if you would prefer not to engage in this practice, simply put a hand over your heart, maybe close your eyes, and people will respect your choice. And now if you will turn to the person to your left or your right and briefly greet your neighbor. And now, with the healing love of communities sparking among us, let us light the sacred symbol of our faith, our flaming chalice, with these words by Reverend Julian Yameka Soto. Some people are used to keeping rules. Don't cross the street when the light is red. Only sensible. It turns out that keeping rules isn't the same as keeping covenant, which asks us, instead of keeping a bright line, to keep our promises. To what have we promised ourselves, to this moment in time and place, to this community, and even tenderly interconnected this planet? We promise ourselves to the idea that we are each and all human beings. We promise that there is something moving between us that we cannot tame and cannot measure. And this chalice is a reminder that what flame we keep inside us cannot light the way. The light must spill to shine. The thing you must be is yourself, unadulterated, shedding the willingness to journey alone as though you are made of something hard and unforgivable. You are human, and you belong right here, right now, and together We will chase away the sickness and the secrets and leave open, only open, the possibility that the future is a space for growth. And now if you will join me in our celebration hymn, 1018, Come and Go With Me. And maybe on verse 3 and 4, we'll do a little clapping to get in the celebratory mood. Please rise in body and spirit as you are able.
So we'll play through once and then we'll do all verses.
Special guest with us today, Miss Tick, who is going to deliver our Time for All Ages. Please give a warm welcome to Miss Tick.
Hello everyone, I am Miss Tick. I'm a drag queen as well as a member of this community. Out of drag, I go by he, they pronouns, but in drag, you can call me whatever you want. And today, I will be reading a story called From the Stars in the Sky to the Fish in the Sea, written by Kai Ting Pong and illustrated by, oh, I'm gonna get all these names wrong, Mayan Lee and Kai Lin Ching. I hope I said that correctly, but you know, that's okay. All right. Once upon a time, in a little blue house on a hill on the edge of the town, a baby was born. They were born when the moon and the sun were in the sky, so the baby couldn't decide what to be. Boy or girl, bird or fish, cat or rabbit, tree or star. So the baby looked a little like everything. They looked very strange. All the same, the baby's mother gave her child a bath and rocked them in her arms. Your name, she said, is Miulan. And she sang a song that her own mother had sung to her long ago. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be. From the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea. You can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be here. I'll be near standing by. And you know what? I'll love you till the day you die. Till the day that I die. And even though they still couldn't decide, the baby felt loved. Milan grew up to be a strange, magical child who was always changing. They grew feathers and wings to fly with bluebirds in the mornings, scales and a tail to swim with fish in the afternoons, and fur and paws to play with puppies in the evenings. No matter how many things Milan became, their mother always brought them back to the little blue house, gave them a bath, and tucked them into bed at night. As the stars rose, she sang, "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Milan felt loved. One day, it was time for the child to go to school. They were so excited. They grew a tail of peacock feathers and a coat of tiger stripes. "Have fun," said Milan's mother. But when they got to the school, the other students were either boys or girls. They had no feathers, no scales, no leaves, no fur, no fins, not even any sparkles. No one invited Milan to play. One little boy ran up to the child and asked, "What are you supposed to be?" Milan didn't know how to answer. When they came home, their mother asked them how they liked school. "It's okay," said Milan. "Did you make any friends?" "Not really," said Milan. That night, Milan's mother tucked them into bed and sang, "You can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be here, I'll be near standing by, and you know that I'll love you to the day that I die." And Milan felt loved, but also worried. The next day, they wore a turtle shell and porcupine spines. No one pulled or poked Milan, but the other students still pointed and whispered. "Did you make any friends today?" asked their mother. "Not really," said Milan. That night, Milan's mother tucked them into bed and sang, "Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Milan felt loved, but they also felt sad. The next day, Milan wore no feathers, no scales, no leaves, no fur, no fins, no shells, no spines, not even any sparkles. Milan was invited to play baseball with the boys. No one pointed, whispered, laughed, or stared. But when Milan joined the little girls playing hopscotch. "Boys don't play hopscotch," said a little girl. "Are you a boy or a girl anyway?" asked the little boy. "Didn't you have a shell the other day?" asked the little girl. "And feathers the day before?" "What are you supposed to be?" said several children at once. "I don't know," Milan shouted, and galloped out of the playground on a horse's hooves, swam through the stream with a fish's tail, and soared up the hill on an eagle's wings. "How was school?" asked Milan's mother. "I wore feathers and stripes so that the other kids would think I was beautiful, but they thought I was weird. And then I wore a shell and spines so that no one would pull or poke me, but they wouldn't talk to me. And then I tried to be just like everyone else, but I haven't made any friends. I can't decide what to be. Why do I have to be just one thing?" "It isn't always easy to be different from everyone else," said their mother. "But you can only be who you are. What if the other children don't like who I am?" sniffled Milan. Their mother smiled sadly. "I don't know," she admitted, "but I do know this. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be, from the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea." And Milan felt loved. That night, they slept a deep sleep. The next day, Milan wore fur, feathers, scales, leaves, and many sparkles that glittered like stars. For a moment, none of the other children spoke. Then a little girl said, "You can fly? That's so cool." "I like your sparkles," said a little boy. "I'm sorry I pulled your feathers," said the boy with the red hair. "I was a little jealous of them." Milan asked, "Does anyone want to play with me?" They showed the other children how to gallop like horses, climb like monkeys, and swim like fish. It was fun to be many different things. And the child of fur, feathers, scales, leaves, and sparkles, who was neither boy nor girl, but many things, and always changing, felt happy. In the little blue house on the hill, on the edge of town, Milan's mother smiled and sang the song her mother had sung to her once upon a time. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be. From the stars in the sky to the fish in the sea, you can crawl like a crab or with feathers fly high, and I'll always be here, I'll be near, standing by. And you know that I'll love you to the day that I die. Whatever you dream of, I believe you can be. You are my child, courageous and free. And that is the end.
Thank you, Ms. Tick. Mutuality, The Heart of Love by Sharon Salzberg, Buddhist teacher Sharon Salzberg wrote, "True giving is a thoroughly joyous thing to do. We experience happiness when we form the intention to give, in the actual act of giving, and in the recollection of the fact that we have given. Generosity is a celebration. When we give something to someone, we feel connected to them, and our commitment to the path of peace and awareness deepens. For our morning offering, let us celebrate the spirit of generosity which supports our mission of love and liberation that will lead us to peace. As always, UUCO's collection is split, with half going to our monthly Share the Plate recipient and half going to support the mission of the congregation. Our Share the Plate recipient this month is MS Presenters Network. MSPN operates in a non-competitive cooperative spirit and is dedicated to bringing artists and presenters together across the state of Mississippi, and is designed to help increase economic opportunity, diversity, professional development opportunities, and cooperation amongst artists in the state. Also, please remember to drop any notes of grief, gratitude, and growth, those are joys and sorrows, in the offering baskets as they go around. Our morning offering will now be gratefully received. Where are the baskets? Where did they end up?
Do we have any slips? I will share a reading first called A Shout Out by Lama Rod Owens. A shout out to all of us who are struggling today. If you are praying, keep praying. If you are working, keep working. If you are crying, offer your sadness to the ancestors. If you need to rest, then let the earth hold you. If you feel overwhelmed, go and let the silence find you. If you are numb and terrified, call on the mother. If you are feeling stable and resourced, dedicate some of that energy to others who feel depleted. If you are giving up on love today, it's okay. I will love on your behalf and know that I am offering it back to you. Calling on the blessings of Audrey Lorde, may I erupt into spontaneous joy, and may this joy be how I wage political warfare. And with Lama Rod Owens' words affirming the joys and sorrows of our lives, let us enter into the ritual like the one before us to share what is on our hearts and lay it at the altar of community and spirit. Using a pebble dropped into this bowl of water to symbolize the ripple effects of the events of our lives upon the larger community, we will now share the joys, sorrows, grief, gratitude, and growth moments that have touched our lives since we were last together. Of course, our first pebble is one of gratitude for our visitors and friends. We are so very happy that you are with us this morning. And now we will share the written words. From Michelle Harvey, one of grief. We learned over the weekend of several family members and friends who are struggling with some scary health issues. Please hold them collectively in your hearts. And from Gwen, after a year of hard work and many, many revisions, my honors thesis defense on April 24th ended with approval. Yay! And there's more. I got it done, and thank you so much for the well wishes and support from the congregation members and from my dear parents who are traveling, right?
They are. They're in Iceland. They're coming home tonight.
Put another one in there.
Have fun.
And we will drop one final pebble for all of those moments of grief, gratitude, and growth that remain in our hearts and left unspoken. Those two we hold close to us as a community and held by a love that is limitless. And if you would join me in a singing meditation, stay in your seats. From the Teal Hymnal, we're doing only Teal Hymnal today, folks. Number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul.
Michael's going to play it through once first, and I'll notice on the second page there's a little coda where there's a river flowing, there's a river flowing, there's a river flowing. We do that 3 times, so don't be surprised by that at the end.
The body is not a fleshy prison. The body is not a fleshy prison for the spirit. We transcend the arbitrary boundaries drawn around our skin. We are so much more than the physical. Our bodies, our appearances, and what the visual field could ever contain are just mere suggestions, not ordained truths. Truth is polyamorous. Time is too. We are connected to the past, the future, the present, the people we are, the people we love. The world that surrounds us is us. Invisibility is not an objective state, it is a lack of ambition. Just because you don't see us as us doesn't mean we are not real. Reality surpasses vision. Our imagination is malnourished by a world that limits our potential to our ability to work and not our ability to love. One that relegates dreaming to our sleeping. What if we were to dream while awake? The hyper-individuation of the West crumbles beneath our feet and in our lungs. We desire past the confines of the now. We reject their reason, and instead we are honest, painfully so, in our feelings. That behind every fact is a carousel of feelings, behind every law is a panic attack, behind every judge and every doctor and every politician is a broken heart. We yearn desperately for an otherwise. We begin that otherwise by surrounding to the complexity of ourselves and everyone around us. We use science to appreciate our potential, not restrict it. Biology proliferates, not imprisons. The natural disposition of the world is infinity. We are oriented towards multifaceted universes that exist beyond comprehension. We resist being known, we insist on being experienced regardless of reason. There are as many ways to exist as there are existences. Everything lives, the stone beneath our feet, the clouds above us. Nothing dies, it just transforms. It goes elsewhere. We are descendants of elsewhere, stardust, skin cells, stray dreams. We spill outside of the containers they filter us through. We remain incorrigible, impure, and delightfully contaminated, porous and welcoming of all the transitions, the refugees, the becomings, the propensity toward change, the future, the now.
That was a powerful statement. Thank you for reading that for us. Stay down. If you are not familiar with Alok, they are a very interesting, I think comedian mostly, but also very profound. A friend of mine was talking and she said, to a colleague, and she said, people are complaining that I preach too much about love and not enough about social justice issues in her sermon. And I was nodding my head. And then she wrote, the existence of hate, oppression, and discrimination proves that to be untrue. I wouldn't need to talk about it if there was enough of it. And if you don't recognize the issues of our time in my services, you aren't listening closely enough. Because love is where it's at. That is the sum total. That is the center of all. And we adopted this notion of love being the center of our values, because all else flows from there. I was going back through some books trying to prepare for this service, not really sure exactly how I wanted to venture into my queerly beloved, we are gathered here together moment. And I recognized that I wanted to center love, that that's all we really have to keep us going, to challenge us and to move us forward to change and become, always to become. And in one of my books I looked over, I saw from All About Love from Bell Hooks, who profoundly wrote that love and abuse cannot coexist, and that there can be no love without justice. And this is our calling. This is why we celebrate Pride. This is why visibility and naming matters. You know, I was talking to my kids the other day, and they are solidly the Gen Z crowd, as I am a Gen X old person. Yes. And they were saying, well, Mom, everybody's a little bit gay. And then they just kind of shrugged and walked away. And I thought, oh my gosh, like that's very profound. And they were just matter of fact about it. And that wasn't my experience growing up as a Gen Xer. And I appreciate this nuanced difference for them. These kids who were raised admittedly in the privilege of a liberal bubble with OWL, with Unitarian Universalism. And how many people don't have that experience of just kind of shrugging and saying, hey, it is what it is. And so I was thinking about also the author of our children's book, who also wrote, I hope we choose love. And I learned about Kai Chen Tom from the UU Ministers Association. They're going to be the keynote speaker at our Institute for Ministry this winter. And so, of course, I had to go and buy all their books that they wrote. And Kai Chen Tom wrote, "I don't want to be validated, I want to be loved." And so I want to share something that they wrote because I think their words are more powerful than anything I can say to you. And the subtitle of this book, I Hope We Choose Love, is A Trans Girl's Notes from the End of the World. When we lose faith in the things that matter, it is easy to turn to anger. Anger helps us survive when survival seems impossible. And I have been very angry throughout my life, and I still am in some ways. I need to be to live. Yet anger and its siblings, rage and vengeance, have also been poisonous influences in my communities. I've seen people do awful things to one another in the name of anger and revenge, and it never seems to help anyone in the end. So in the midst of despair, I have come to believe that love, the feeling of love, the politics of love, the ethics and the ideology and the embodiment of love is the only good option in this time of the apocalypse. What else do we have? I mean, love that is kind, but also honest. Love that is courageous and relentless and willing to break the rules and smash the systems. Love that cares about people more than ideas, that prizes each and every one of us as essential and indispensable. I mean, love that is compassionate and accountable. I mean, love that confirms and reaffirms us as complex and fallible, yet lovable anyway. Love that affirms us as humans. I want to live in love and believe in love, and if I have to die, I want to die in love. This whole world might be coming to its end, or it might be in the midst of an enormous and terrifying change that leads to something better. Either way, I want to go through it in love with the people I love. The people that I love. Right now, it seems like a hopeless time when so many things are aimed against the LGBTQ community, when there's legislation that is trying to demean and hurt and outlaw lives. And we must demand something better than that. Because we cannot allow fear and hate and shame to survive and thrive, to be what orders this world. We know the truth, that love is liberation. Another author that I read, Prentice Hemphill, wrote, "Who in the end is more human than you or me that we should plead for acceptance into their version of humanity? I am not just like them, and I am human still." This idea that we should all be the same, that there should be one direction that we are flowing, is in fact just stealing our joy. And queer joy. Joy is an act of resistance in a mainstream culture that wants everyone subscribing to narrow, puritanical, patriarchal, and capitalist confines. And there ain't no joy in that world. And from Michael Long, who wrote, "As a queer, multiracial, neurodivergent trauma survivor, I exist like so many others in a world that insists that I should not love myself as I am. If queerness is an essence that exists only in opposition to what it defines, it follows that radical self-love is deeply queer when my body is the context." And of course, we know pride was birthed in the need for resistance. And this is ever more true today, and pride will always be relevant. And as we dream of true inclusion, not just tolerance, we center our queer ancestors' intentions, uplifting those in the community who are most vulnerable, and remember those who fought and sacrificed for the rights that allow us to simply exist today. Michael Long also writes, "There are numerous reasons to fight today, but it would be remiss not to center our own joy and livelihood. And queer joy must be the centerpiece to our resistance." And that's why we're here today, to celebrate, to defiantly celebrate, to laugh, to love, to be in this community even when it's hard. And now I would like to invite Corey Crowder to share something really special. Come on up.
Thank you. I want to celebrate today by remembering a very close member of my family. He was a cousin, but he was like a brother. He was a member of the LGBTQ community in New Orleans. We were glad we had him for 39 years. We wish we could have had him much longer. We lost him in 1986. His name was Guy Donor Jr., but we all called him Brother because he didn't really like his name that much. In fact, and he was like a brother to everybody. He always gave himself, gave and gave. He was there. He organized my grandmother's funeral when I was 20 years old and didn't know how to do that. And that's just an example of his giving. So I don't have much time. I think Sarah says I have 2 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead. And I want to share with you one of his poems that he wrote. He wrote many, many poems over the years, and then after his passing, his beloved sister, Lorena Donor Guidry, compiled these poems into this book. So, sorry, I hope I can be heard. I'll try this.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Okay, so this is just a short poem that he wrote, one of many, untitled. That brief moment of ecstasy would I not give the world to be, in such a state of joyful bliss, the world I'm sure would near miss, if I but for a moment stay in such a world of blissful gay. Should I not for a second renege all the sins that had laid through the centuries and eons, all men and even peons have wished the wish of joyful bliss, and again have always missed. Oh, joyful bliss, I would give and miss, for but one chance to be or not to be free.
Thank you, Corey, for sharing that. We talked yesterday about that, and he's like, I got the perfect thing to share, and I was like, right on, we'll put it in there. Yes,
I'm
Corey.
sorry, did I mention he lived in New Orleans? I can't
Yes.
remember. Okay.
He was from New
His
Orleans.
hometown.
Yeah. Asked to locate us in this present moment, writer Alexis Pauline Gum said, "We are always in the unfolding of love. We are learning how to love as usual." And this author here, Prentice Hemphill, also worth reading this book, writes, "I understood that love is the greater of what is always happening. And our strife, our disconnection, our disagreement, our denial, and our violence are the tantrums we throw against love's requirements that we understand and change and become. I could see that love is always trying to unfold through each of us, but it is on us to dissolve the barriers that prevent us from loving. The barriers present in our own fears, in our ego, in our bodies, and the barriers in our systems. We can love ourselves back into the ecosystem if we try. Love is not very far if we invite it." And so together, that's what we're here to practice. Getting good at loving ourselves, loving each other, having a community that feels safe-ish, right? That's what we can promise, safe-ish. A place where you can be yourself, a place where you belong and feel welcome. Because together here, gathered in congregation and in revolution and resistance, we can joyfully bring about change. And we can remind each other of collective possibilities that we can grow and live beyond our current fears. Rituals of rebirth are the sparks, the initiators, the doorways we move through to get started on the path of change. And they are the glimpses of what we can be. Being intentionally joyful, gathering, makes it easier to get through this thing called life. And because we are reminded that getting through is not an individual task. And so let us remember our community and our beautiful selves within. We're going to engage in a responsive litany now, and the response is printed in your order of service. It is, we are precious and we are powerful, and we will point to you when it's your turn to speak.
We come from fierce freedom fighters, from the survivors and the dead of the HIV crisis, who organized and fought for their lives, from the black kings and queens who ruled the ballroom, who insisted we dance even amidst death and devastation. From these ancestors we learn.
We are precious and we are powerful. With the tender-hearted butches and the powerful femmes, with the strong twinks and the soft bears, with all the complexities that live within each of us, we know that we are whole just as we are. We are precious and we are powerful.
From the Black Dykes, the Trans Chicana Sisters, the Boriqua Blah, is that right? Right. And every other sibling who is told they can't bring their full self to queer community, from them we learn we are precious
and we are powerful. To the elders who've seen it all, to those with one toe out of the closet, to those who are still in it, to those who tore down the closet altogether, we say, we are precious and we are powerful.
In the face of hatred, in the faces of those who deny our wholeness, we root ourselves in the truth we know. We are precious
and we are powerful. From the dance floor to the Capitol Rotunda, from our kitchen tables to the White House, from jail cells to classrooms to pulpits, whether whispered or shouted, we will and do proclaim, we are precious and we are powerful. And now here comes the fun part. We're going to do a glitter blessing. We're going to see how this goes. It's going to be lots of fun. We're going to take each section and come this way around. If you come up here, Gwen's going to be on one side, I'm going to be on the other. We have glitter pots and rainbow, what do you call them, crowns? Stamper thingies. And the glitter has long been a symbol for the LGBTQ movement of gritty, sparkly hope in the face of prejudice and oppression, of joy and pride in the face of hatred and bigotry. Oh, here's your turn. We have words.
Glitter is resilient and tenacious. The briefest beam of sunlight causes it to shine out even in the dustiest and dreariest of spaces, and its beauty comes from its brokenness. Glitter sparkles because it's many different broken pieces coming together, changing in every moment as the light changes.
This glitter that we're going to share with each other today is a reminder that each of us is beautiful in our sacred imperfections, our ever-changing selves, and our glorious plurality. And we're going to have Tycho play a little bit of music. You'll be invited to come forward to show us where you would like your glitter blessing to go, because we're all about consent, right? So, do you want it on your face? On your arm, your hand? This is what the little pots look like. And also, if you want to, if this is like an exercise, and I'm going to just try it for a minute, I have makeup wipes. So if you need to grab one afterwards so you can quickly, and we have color choices too. So there's so much choice, so much choice. And if you would like for us to come to you because coming up here is a little bit difficult for you, or for whatever capacity, just raise your hand and one of us will come with some glitter to bless you. And it's like a makeup stuff, and I promise you it wipes right off because I tried it out first. I'm not sure about the rainbow stick.
That is a little harder.
This is a little bit harder to come off. So if you want the easy wipe off, go with the glitter. All right? Yes, please. We're getting into position here. Okay, so this side comes, get your blessing, think about where you want it to go. This is a joyful moment, folks, and glitter is a love-hate relationship for most people here, and I get that. So if you want to pass, you have absolutely every right to pass as well. Don't be shy. want?
I'll take pink.
Where do you want it?
My cheeks. Oh, yeah.
He said cheeks.
Oh, yeah, I think it does.
Okay, that's good.
I'll do some pink on my hands.
Okay. Well,
I'll dab it in
you'll
there.
dab it in, rub it around.
I will take some silver. No, the
Bronze?
The bronze
Where would you like it?
on my cheek.
That's pretty good. Good, just a little bit. You can come back and add more later.
Something that's easy to wipe off, and we'll just do it on the arm here. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, look at that. You look
Lovely.
like Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, perfect. Great, thank you.
I want a hot pink mustache
Okay. Mustache?
on my mustache. I'm sorry if I spit on you.
Let's see how this works. You can do it. I'm gonna have you like wipe it in a little bit better.
Get me out there. Give me a handlebar if you want.
It's a little bit messy.
All
Just
right.
smear it in good.
Rainbows.
You want which one?
Rainbow.
All right, let's see how this works. Whoops, that's working.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You sparkle. What would you like?
the rainbow.
Okay. You always shine the colors of the rainbow, and know you are beautiful. Okay. Pink is popular today. It's a little clumpy. You might have to rub it in a little bit. There you go. Mary, what would you like?
Rainbow on the forehead.
On your forehead? You shine like a rainbow, Mary.
That's awesome, Mary. I'm gonna have that. Pat's my inspiration.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Same for me, please. That's a really cool little pen thing.
Yeah.
There's a trend going on
Awesome.
here. Ah, awesome. Thank you.
They always shine like the rainbow, prism of colors. You want this too or glitter? Okay. May you always know your worth, and may you know that you shine like a rainbow. You want some glitter? Where do you want? It doesn't spray. Do you want? Here, put this on your hand, then you can rub it on wherever you want. There you go. Just rub it in. What would you like?
Glitter.
Glitter? What color? Yes, these are all glitter. What color? This is a hot seller today.
Let's do it.
It's a little clumpy. I have to spread it.
and I have all
There
those-
you go. You sparkle always. Rainbow stamps. Here you go. This.
I've got teal and black. Absolutely, my friends.
And now, I invite you to pause with me as we come to the close of this particular ritual. I want you to look around at all the beautiful, shining, colorful faces the amazing thing that is our blessed bodies gathered in this sacred space together. Everyone, everybody in this space and beyond is holy. Every person is sacred and a sacred being made of stardust and glitter and rainbows. So just take a moment now just to marvel at how extra glittery we are today, how fabulous we all are. We'll engage in a closing hymn, and then we'll have our candlelight vigil after that. Our closing hymn is 1053, How Could Anyone? And Pico, can we go sing through it 3 times?
Yeah.
Okay, but he's gonna go through it once for us to hear it. But we've also just kind of heard it. But please rise in body or spirit. So each fourth Sunday, we hold a candlelight vigil to hold sacred space to remember those who came before us, to honor the struggles of here and now, and to guide our journey into peace. And we have candles coming around now, and we're going to be lighting them up momentarily, particularly for this Pride Sunday. I think it's a particularly special moment to recognize and hold sacred some of our struggles, those who could not be here today, those who are missing from this space, gone too soon. We are going to light our candles for one another. If you are holding the candle that's unlit, you do that. Person lit stays straight, otherwise you get some. I'll let you light that side. You can set that basket right there. And as the candles are lit from our chalice flame, let us remember for all the heartache and rage and confusion that darkens our lives, we hold an undiminishable light within. Some may try to blow out our candles, they might try to suffocate our flames, but we can rekindle them again and again to proclaim with abundant truth that we are worthy as we are. We hold our flames steady with sparkling joy and hope that we as a community can illuminate for others a joyous way to live and love. And as we share our light in this sacred space, let us also hold and care for our ancestors and loved ones who made a place for us with these words from Katie Kelly Hankin. We remember and hold gratitude for
our queer ancestors, all those who came before us, swirling back in time through the generations. They faced challenges with love and fierceness, living their truths as best they could in a world that didn't make space for them. Each step they walked cleared the path for us.
We remember and hold gratitude for our queer elders who taught us how to openly and to live and love openly and unapologetically. They have celebrated and supported us in our growth and shown us by their lived examples that there is more than one way to be a family.
We remember and hold gratitude for our queer friends, siblings, and cousins who tell us every day, we see you, you are visible, you are worthy. They remind us that we must continue to walk hand in hand, heart to heart, toward greater liberation.
We remember and hold gratitude for the queer young folks coming up after us. We stand with full hearts in awe of them as they continue to remake the world into a kinder place, one where everyone is included, everyone is valued, and everyone is free to be themselves. And now, we invite you to reverently and softly call any names of ancestors, elders, or beloveds, past or living, you wish to hold in this sacred space of love. Just quietly say their name out loud. Lucy Hicks Anderson, Bayard Rustin, Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, Harvey Milk, Polly Murray,
Leslie Feinberg, Gluck, Romaine Brooks.
We remember and hold gratitude for these people named and those still held in our hearts too tender to name aloud. They are held in this space of remembrance and love. And now I offer you this final blessing. May you receive and reflect love everywhere you go, and know in your deepest heart and in every day you matter and you belong. May you hold on to hope and your inner sparkle even when discouragement and despair beckons. May the beauty in you shine out bright as the stars from which we came and to which we will return. And together, we may make this a place of welcome and healing, of connection and plurality. Together, may we practice compassion and courage, seeing and celebrating and supporting each other. And together, may we be the sparkling force of love that our world needs. And now let us bless each other on our way by joining our voices together for our congregational blessing. It's in our order of service if you're unfamiliar with it. Go in peace, believe in peace, create peace, and be peace. And now we release our flames. May the warmth of the light remain with us, guiding our steps and our hearts. Let us carry forward the strength of this community, the courage to speak truth, and the hope that transformation is possible. In each breath we take, may we remember that work of love and justice and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. Blessed by this community and by the divine, go forth and celebrate with pride. In a few short minutes, we'll have our congregational meeting. Come on up and drop off your candles. It's now time to celebrate.